You're broken down and tired of living life like a merry-go-round, and you can find a fighter, but I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out and move mountains. We gon' walk it out and move mountains. And we'll rise up, like the waves. We'll rise up, in spite of the ache. We'll rise up, and we'll do it 1,000 times again. And we'll rise up, like the waves. We'll rise up, in spite of the ache. We'll rise up, and we'll do it 1,000 times again.
Welcome back, everybody, to another live stream, Tampa Bay. I'm Tyler Martinolich, Film Commissioner for Hillsborough County, on a rather gloomy, rainy Friday. Joining us this week is my Ed McMahons, so to speak, with Glenn Hoskin and Pete Guzzo, who I hope can hear me and see me. They're joining us remotely. If at any time during this broadcast, guys, there's some hiccups technologically, we're doing the best we can. This is all ad hoc, and we're trying our best here. So cut us some slack and keep tuning in. We'll get through it. Joining us this segment, though, is a friend both to myself, the Film Commission, and the greater film community at large, Tim Moore from Diamond View Studios. How you doing, Tim? All right. I can't hear Tim.
He's up my bad.
Is it? Okay, there we go. Say something again. Hey, there we go. We got you now. Great to see your face. It's been a couple weeks now, so I'm glad to see any humans actually at this point going stir crazy with the whole COVID-19 stuff. But I have been following you on Instagram, and you and your family have been having quite a few cool adventures. So let's start there. How are you and the family? What have you guys been up to?
Well, we're doing good. We do the Pledge of Allegiance every morning in the living room now. My wife's turned into a full-time teacher of both my kids, so it's been some getting used to, but I'm enjoying it. And I always make it out for recess. So that's the one period of the day that I get to come and join in the school.
Well, it's been very enjoyable following along with you guys on Instagram. Let's turn now to Diamond View, one of our premier content creator studios here in town. You guys have been putting out a ton of really inspirational and high quality work during this time. What's the workflow been, and how have you been leading your team through this crisis?
Yeah, well, for us, like many businesses, we were really impacted when this all happened. A lot of our clients are sports clients, and so the entire sports world is shut down. So what we did is really pivoted into making good news. There's a lot of kind of fear-mongering and scary news out there, but we think that the reality is there's a lot of good things that are happening too. And so we want to show, a little bit of what's going on good in the world. That's what we've been making.
Yeah, you certainly have. Has there been a particular story or special interest group that you focused on in this period that surprised you and was really heartwarming?
Well, I had met a girl at the elementary school just right across the street from us, probably 2 weeks before all this happened. And she was telling me a story about how she was going to be in the talent show they had. Well, 2 days before the talent show happened, the schools were all shut down. And so I reached out to her to sing a song for us on a video. And that video has since been seen by hundreds of thousands of people. And so that was cool to see. She didn't ever make it to her talent show, but she did have a big audience out there that got to see her sing.
Yeah, and I think we actually led in with that particular singer, the young girl, before this segment started. So let's talk a little bit about your team. How have you guys transitioned to being at home? And is your staff all working from home right now?
Yep. So we're all remote. We actually started March 17th. So it's been a little over a month now. And for us, the good thing is being a company that is all digital, we can make everything as long as we have the hard drive. So the biggest challenge for us was just getting all the media to the right places. But now that it's been a couple of weeks, we've been able to transition well. And the only challenge that we're finding is just that we can't shoot anything. So it's mostly all post-production. Typically we would have more production going on than post-production, but that's changed a bit. And so now some of our shooters and directors are behind the edit booth, working their post-production skills.
Yeah. And as we see states slowly coming back online, famously, Georgia decided to open their doors this Friday. Whatever the opinion there is, it is what it is for Georgia. But I do know that we are hearing from some things about Florida coming back online sooner rather than later, perhaps in the next week or two, if we're lucky and the science dictates that that's the right move. Are you hearing clients saying they're ready to get back to normal and start shooting?
Yeah, I think so. The one thing that's still kind of up in the air is sports, and so for our sports clients, I think there's some uncertainty there, but for most of our brand clients, they're eager and ready to get the project going again. We had a lot of projects that hit a hard pause, and so now that it looks like we're getting over the hump, I think we'll pick those back up in a few weeks.
Yeah. Let's kick it over to Glenn Hoskin. Glenn, what questions do you have for Tim?
Why can't I hear anything? I'm just going to talk sports because I know you guys do a lot of stuff for the Braves. So where are the Braves sitting right now in terms of Major League Baseball? We know that that's kind of at a standstill. What are the communications between you and the Braves?
Well, right now we're on a pause. They're trying to figure out if they're going to resume in stadium or be playing the season in Arizona and Florida. That's where most all Major League Baseball teams go for spring training. So it's nothing new for them to be playing in those areas, but it will be new for us because some of our team is in Atlanta. So right now, our full Atlanta team is here in Tampa Bay, and until we get the green light, we're paused with everything we're doing with the Braves right now.
Yeah. Okay, we're kicking it back to me. Some technical difficulties. Tim, what has it been like getting through this, just on a personal level? I was talking with someone earlier, 9/11, Great Recession, nothing really compares as far as the length and breadth of the closure. How has that been psychologically for you to work through this?
Well, it's been a challenge, but I'll tell you, our company was started 12 years ago, right in the middle of the recession. So we grew at a time that was really challenging. And I think it's like the old saying, you plant a tree in the spring, it grows fast, but if you plant it in the winter, it grows strong. So we've had this resilient mindset that, bumps and hurdles come. We're hoping that this will only be, a couple month thing and look back at it and that we get stronger because of it. But I will say myself and many people in the production community, you never could predict something like this to happen. So the biggest hurdle for us is figuring out how do we change the strategy. We were in heavy growth mode, very aggressive, looking at buying a new facility and building a new studio, and now just resetting and saying, all right, let's make sure that the engine's running full steam before we do more of these growth type moves.
Yeah. And is there any other advice you might want to impart to the production community, whether they're just a simple crew member or someone who owns another production company?
I say don't stop making things. I mean, if you're in the production community, you have a tremendous talent to build things that people want to see. I saw the meme that you put out on Instagram that said, well, the world's in crisis, they all turn to Netflix and Hulu, and they want to see what the artists are making. So while you might be at home, if you can make anything, make it, whether it's on the webcam or iPhone, or if you have your gear with you. I think people are really, really appreciative when the creative community continues to create in times like this. Yeah.
And when our doors do open, what is the first thing you're looking forward to doing, whether it's just personally or as a business?
Well, I'm excited to get out in the field. I love directing, and so can't wait to have 15, 20 people around me and screaming and mayhem and coffee's falling all over the place. I thrive in chaos, so I'm looking forward to getting back to that.
Yeah. Well, we certainly appreciate you taking some time with us. how many guys do you have at Diamond View right now? I think what's your total staff number?
We have 28.
Wow, that's amazing. And you grew from, next to nothing, right? I mean, this was really a bootstrap business.
Yeah, there was myself for 3 years, and then my roommate, John, who was studying to be a doctor, decided to jump on the boat too, and we grew 2 guys now to 28, and it's been a heck of a ride, but I have to say, I give a lot of the credit to Tampa Bay and the community here. It's so collaborative. It's just a great place to start a business.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I think everyone is put to that pressure cooker of adversity when something like this happens. And what's been really gratifying is watching the Tampa Bay business community come together and join forces with, whether it's Metropolitan Ministries or Feeding Tampa Bay, really to make a difference. Have you been seeing that true across the board for businesses?
Yeah, I've seen businesses come together. We got the opportunity to collaborate with the city of Tampa, and we just made an initiative called One Tampa. And it was cool to be able just to be part of the process. The city came out and said, hey, we don't have anything to fund this right now because we're funding all the efforts to keep small businesses and families alive right now. And so several agencies, Spark Sioux, Chapel Roberts, and myself came together and created a campaign for them. And it was awesome to see, everyone working together just for the good of the city. And I'm seeing that all over the place now.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, with that, Tim, we really appreciate the time you took with us today. We're all looking forward to getting back to business as normal, whatever that might look like going forward, sooner rather than later, we all hope. Is there a final message you want to send out before we close out the segment?
Yeah. Well, I just want to say thank you. I appreciate it, Tyler, for having me on here. And if you're out there stuck at home right now, go ahead and make something because the world needs it right now. So appreciate you guys.
Awesome. And before we close out, where can people find more about Diamond View?
Yeah, you can go to our website, diamondview.io, or check us out on Instagram or Facebook on just Diamond View.
All right. Tim, thank you so much for your leadership in Tampa Bay and just being a friend both to myself and the Film Commission. And with that, for those tuning in, join us the next segment. We have the Epicurean Hotel and some pretty cool things cooking in the background. See you in a bit.
You're broken down and tired of living life like a merry-go-round, and you can find a fighter, but I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out and move
mountains. We gon' walk it out and move mountains. And we'll rise up. I like the waves. We'll rise up. In spite of the ache, we'll rise up. And we'll do it 1,000 times again. And we'll rise up. I like the waves. We'll rise up. In
All right. Welcome back, everybody. I lied the last segment. It is not the Epicurean Hotel. They'll be joining us next segment. This segment, we're lucky enough to be joined once again by Lisa Jamison from Life Performance Enhancement. Hey, Lisa, how's it going this Friday?
Let me see if I can get actually in your screen today. How are you?
I'm doing great. I can see you. How are you?
Yeah, good. It's been another week. I'm glad to be back with you. It gives me a little bit of sense of continuity, right? Try to get something on the schedule.
Well, I appreciate you joining us on this gloomy Friday. And people are trapped at home right now. They might be going stir crazy, but they need to keep up with their health and their workouts. And I think you have some tips for us today.
I do.
We're going to demonstrate on camera through the magic.
So I'm going to move back. You're just going to have to give me the high sign. It's good to see a new platform going on today, but it's all new pictures for me. So
all right, we're mixing things around.
Yeah. So I'm going to skate around a little bit here. Part of going live on all these things is finding out a space where people can actually be seen. I try to get my whole body in a camera, which isn't always the easiest piece. So
it looks pretty good right there.
Thank you. I can't move though. I'm not sure what I'll demonstrate now. But, the key being it's finding some space where you can spread out a little bit. So I have a room that I'm able to do this. So most of the things that I'm doing with clients, I can get in a small room and still kind of watch them. I can demo and things like that. But I move myself out to just kind of my open space now. And the biggest thing I can tell you is you don't necessarily need a lot of tools. So I think a couple weeks ago we talked about, if you are finding yourself having a tough time getting out of the chair, practice getting out of the chair. In real life, we call those squats, right? Might be this, getting up, almost sitting down, getting right back up again, and just kind of practice from there. A lot of times chairs are too low for people. I'm 6 feet tall, so when I work with men, I have to say, put some blankets, build the chair up a little bit. So when we do sit between sets and you want to stretch, you can actually do things like get your ankle up over your knee and work on some mobility of the hip joints in there, which will then in turn change the exercise. So again, getting up out of a chair really shouldn't be an arm sport, but if you need to start with your arms, go ahead and do that and then sit as low as you can. I like to I brought some bands out with me. These you can get, if you go to the link, there's a page on my website that says client tools. You can go right to that and it'll have the ones that I like. I always tell people go lighter than heavier. People, I think, sometimes make the mistake of saying, well, I want to get strong, so I'm going to get that black one. I'm like, yeah, that's great, except you find out, like, you got to do things like this, and I may be strong, but the band, there's not enough room for the band to go, so I might have to crouch way down to actually get anything done. So the bands that I've put up there are actually some lighter bands. They can be used if you're having any shoulder issues in particular. The bands that I put up there are great for a lot of shoulder rehab exercises to kind of get you going. And then bear in mind, once you've got a couple of sets of bands, you can use 2 or more of them at once, right? And work that way. So another set that I put up, you can buy a tool that hangs over the top of your door. So you put it on one side of the door. I've got some set up already here. So hold that thought. I can have a band that comes out. This one's mounted at about chest height for me. So if I need to work my shoulder, if I want to work my whole torso, if I want to go in and work some, to whole body moves, I can do them. Got another one that's, again, I've got mounted from the top of the door. So again, I can work different positions. I can, again, put the whole body in there. I can swivel. I can use 2 different bands at once. Sometimes it's easier to just use your own body weight, so we can never get too far from push-ups, some form of sit-ups or crunches too.
You're still on. Is it more important to?
Nobody saw anything. So.
we're slowly getting to this. Is it more important to increase reps or the tension on the bands? What would be more beneficial?
Excellent question. And the answer is sometimes I don't know. What do you got? So what do you want to do? So sometimes people say, well, I'm working on strength and I can do 50 of these. Well, if you're doing 50 or 20 or, even 18, 15, you're working on your muscular endurance. So it's really, we want you to be able to get your body to adapt to what you want it to do, and then you train it for that adaptation. So if I'm going on a hiking trip next month, I need to be doing something that allows me to be outside and physically active and hopefully climbing something for several hours at a pop. I don't need to be able to do the heaviest squat. I need the ability to persist. So I would say for Joe Average American, which is a lot of us, right? That to be armed with, let me build some strength, work on that for a couple months, and then work on some endurance, and then shake it up a lot. I think one mistake that people make is they get one exercise routine that they like, and I see this with people regularly. Well, I've been doing this same routine at the gym for the last 5 years. Chances are you haven't gotten a lot stronger or anything. It's pretty easy to shake up a program and get you to make some changes in your body that you want. Yeah.
And I'm sure there's people at home right now who are, again, going stir crazy, want to try something new, maybe start with some sort of workout routine. What's the importance of stretches? And in about 2 minutes we have left, can you show us some quick stretches that are good to warm up with?
Yeah, so I'm never sure you really want to warm up with the stretches, quite frankly. If you're working your muscles are made predominantly of elastin. So think of those as elastic bands. You don't want to take some cold, rigid bands and then kind of yank the Jesus out of them. Not what you want to do. So I would say at the end of some sort of work, or even in the course of your day, this one in the chair is great. Especially for people who are having lower back pain, which is a lot of people, right? Lower back, that motion of your lower back and your hips work together. So I'm a big fan of sit. Legs can be wide and just hang to the ground. If you can't quite reach the floor, bring some books, something to lean onto. Ideally, everyone's shoulders should be able to go below their knees. My big breasts are getting in the way, if my belly's getting in the way, if I just can't move, that's one thing. But ideally, the hip joints should be able to move that far. So sometimes this is great here. Again, to loosen up the hip joints, which will take care of back pain for a lot of people. Get comfortable, get the leg up. And then you're going to start to move from there. In an ideal world, you should be able to lean forward from that. But if this is the stretch, and for a lot of people I work with, and I'm going to say a lot of athletes, this is the stretch, and it's more of than just allowing the legs to move back and forth, okay? This you can get done on your desk chair, right? Crossing the leg knee over knee and leaning forward from there is different on the hips and backs. So we like to start, generally speaking, from this lumbopelvic area, making the changes from the place where all your strength and where all your movement and where all your power comes from. So anything you can do for lower spine and hip joints is going to be key.
Yeah, great. And thank you so much for sharing those tips. Before we close out, though, where can people find more about yourself, and what's your website?
Website is Lift, L-I-F-T, performanceenhancement.com. There's a page that says practice with me if you'd like to get in some. I've got like a free 15-minute in the morning, and in the evening just kind of breath and calm. In the evening, relax and some stretches, and again kind of time out so you can get some calming. There's a page on there that says tools that I like or something, client tools. And if you need any of the things that I use today, they're right up on that.
All right. Lisa Jamieson, thank you so much for joining us again. Have a safe and healthy weekend, and we hope to have you back next week.
I will do so. Hope to see you next week. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Lisa. Bye-bye. And for those watching, stay around. We'll be back with the Epicurean Hotel in just a few minutes.
Hi, I'm Rusty Wallace.
And I'm Johnny Bench.
And we're no strangers to big-time pain.
Which is why we trust Blue Emu's pain relief products.
I use it every day to keep me on the move because winning never gets old.
Blue Emu pain relief products, non-greasy, deep penetrating formula, gets down deep into your muscles and joints to do its magic.
And speaking of magic,
Blue Emu, maximum pain relief, the official pain relief cream of NASCAR.
We are stronger together in the warm air and Gulf breezes, by the sparkling water as the sun slowly sets, where pirates shout ahoy and treasure awaits, where gentle manatees swim past timeless minarets, with adventures to discover in historic districts, with diversity and charm, in our community by the bay, to make memories beyond measure when you return, because we are all stronger together. Where hope always shines, in the hip, urban heart of Florida's Gulf Coast beats, we will be ready for you in Tampa Bay, Florida's most resilient destination.
At Medi Weight Loss, your health and wellness is our top priority. We're now offering virtual tools to help keep you safe and on track with your weight loss goals. Focus on your health and lose weight with our individualized medical plans. Call for a free virtual assessment. Medi Weight Loss.
Yeah. Welcome back, everybody. Joining us, Brady Bunch style, is our friends from the Epicurean Hotel. We have Jim Swain, Darren Rutherford, and Chef Jason. How are you guys doing today? Everyone hear us? I can't hear or see anything.
/restaurant. So you can visit our website, epicureanhotel.com. We have a full list of grocery/pantry items, as well as with pretty cool meal kits that we're offering. So phones have been pretty good today, even though we have a little liquid sunshine out there. We have some help in here today, which is very, very nice. And looking forward to some of our evening business tonight. So, Darren?
So basically, first off, I just want to say thank you for your support.
I see the lobby, that's it.
Sorry
guys, if you can hear us, we're having a quick technical difficulty. We'll get this kicked out. Okay, so it's just them. All right, I can't hear them though.
999-8700 to play.
There we go. Hey, Darren, can you hear us?
The Facebook Live here at the Epicurean. We're really trying to make sure that we're one with our guests and one with our local neighborhood. So we really appreciate everybody's patience through this time. So here shortly, I'm going to take a little walk around the property and kind of talk about what we're doing and what we're looking forward to. I just want to thank for everybody's support here at the Epicurean. So if you want to take it off to the kitchen here, I think we have a camera live back in the kitchen. And I'm going to continue to talk. If you all buzz back and forth from the kitchen to me, we're going to talk about the outside of the property here for a few minutes. Thank you, Darren. So as we leave the front office here and the front desk, we of course see our normal reception area. So as we left there the main office, we're now heading out to the outside of the hotel. And of course we have our main welcome reception area. And then this is where we do our marketplace. So you simply just pull up in your car, wait there in the porte cochere. We run out, introduce ourselves, welcome you, and put your delivery in your car and wish you well. So I'm going to walk around the corner here. Unfortunately, today we had a little liquid sunshine. I don't think it'll slow anybody down this evening. So as I round the corner here, you're going to see that, of course, it's pushing us back a little bit with everything going on. That's going to be the future side of our fully addition to the Epicurean. And then here I'm coming up on our sidewalk side full service bar. Everything's a little bit on the grab and go side of things. We've got batch drinks to go. We've got beer ready to go and some grab and go menu as well. You can also visit that at the EpicureanHotel.com website. And of course, up that way, we have our famous Epicurean Theater. I'll walk in there in just a few moments to give everybody a little inside scoop there. So here in just a moment, I'll introduce you to our lovely bartender, and she's here to welcome our people if they're walking on the street here in a little bit after work and give them a little bit of insight.
Hi, welcome. So we've got some special stuff for you. We have a few batch cocktails. This one is our spicy margarita.
Sounds delicious.
We also have our cucumber gimlet that I know everybody likes. We've got some Negronis as well, and we're also doing your favorite local beers. So you have to come check us out. Really simple. All you have to do is just take it home, shake it, add ice, and you are ready to go.
Nice. Was that a night swim I seen in there?
The night
Copper?
swim. Yes, that is a very popular one.
That's a fun one. That's over by IKEA right here in our local environment.
Yeah, we've got some B-Twin too, some French beer as well.
Nice.
So we are really making sure you have all your options.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you very much. I'm going to continue to... Absolutely. We'll walk around a little bit. She's got our menus posted here. Thank you. We're going to walk around over here to see the Epicurean Theater. And then I'll let the kitchen take it after that. The kitchen wants to make sure they're queued up and ready to go. So here at the Epicurean, of course, you know, we were all about the guest experience and how close we were with our guests. But rest assured, everyone, we really are taking it serious, and everyone's keeping their social distancing, wearing the right precautions, and being ready for our guests. Remember, our hotel is open. You can always book at EpicureanHotel.com. But of course, a lot of our services are skewed at this time until we're back fully operational with all the services. So I do have the Epicurean Theater lights on, but unfortunately the theater is dark right now just because of what's going on. Then out here in our library, the library is open. If you're walking around the local neighborhood, if you'd like to come and say hello to all of us, enjoy your little piece of pie. Okay, if you'd like to order, just go on to Yelp and our link. We'd love to serve you dinner tonight. We have all of our menus posted. Okay, so it looks like we're going live in the kitchen. Signing off here, Jim at the Epicurean. We'll let the kitchen wrap it up and take it from here. Thank you, guys. Come see us. We'd love to see you.
Hey, Chef, if you can hear us, what are you guys cooking up there? Hey, Jason, if you can hear us, what are you guys cooking? Looks like a Cuban sandwich, perhaps? Okay. All right. Welcome back, everybody. Let's thank our friends over at the Epicurean for giving us a sneak peek behind their operations. They are still fully open, both the hotel, but also their bar on the outside, and certainly their restaurant. It's Friday night. Great excuse to even on a rainy Friday to get out of the house for a little bit. Maybe stop by, grab a to-go cocktail, or put it in a to-go order. They are there to help you out, and Epicurean is certainly a great partner to everyone in the film industry here in the Bay Area, and they really are a cornerstone of the Hyde Park community. So great opportunity to go out and support them if you can. We hope you do. It's EpicureanHotel.com. We hope you, again, take advantage of their services and any of the restaurants out there that are going through some hardships right now. Ordering out, stopping by for curbside pickup, anything you can do to help out some of these businesses is much appreciated. Everyone's going through a really difficult time, particularly the service industry. Remember, tip your bartenders if you run into a service industry person. So with that, we'll kick it back to a video. Don't know what's coming up. We'll figure it out. And for everyone else sticking around, we have a personal injury attorney coming up next. See you in a few.